Hey governors, I'm not some older Mario media because I'm not unknown. Yeah, I'm totally not unknown, definitely not. If it isn't obvious from some of the content I make, I'm a pretty big movie guy. I wouldn't make a nearly 50-minute video about a ton of movies from 2025 if that wasn't the case. And another thing I'm really into is the Super Mario Series 2. I don't get to talk about it in my rant videos as much as I wish I could, but I am a Nintendo fan, with that mainly being for the Mario franchise. I know I've made some reaction videos for all three of the Mario Galaxy movie trailers, but shut up, I'm just referring to my rant videos here. I've been a pretty big Mario fan my entire life, with me playing games such as Super Mario Galaxy and Super Paper Mario more times in my life than I could possibly count. I'll say that me and the Yahoo Plumber Boy have had a pretty nice relationship, honestly. And with the new Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out very soon, I don't think there's a better time to talk about the series. Especially the Mario movies, but which one should I talk about? Maybe I could do a review of the first Illumination Mario movie just because the sequel to it is just about to be released. Nah, that would be way too easy, and my opinion on the film is pretty basic all things considered. Well, I can't talk about the 1993 live-action Mario movie either, as I honestly haven't seen it, and what hasn't been said about that movie on YouTube yet. So what else could I cover? This is normally the part of the video where the YouTuber acts surprised about the topic they're covering and pretend like they didn't know about the topic of the video, but no. I already watched the movie and knew about it for years, let's just skip that overplayed bit. But still, Super Mario Bros. The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach is an actual real movie that was released back in 1986. It's an animated movie that tried adapting the Mario storyline to film, and I do find it pretty interesting. And yes, this is an animated Japanese movie, so to the people who want me to talk more about anime, here you go! Whenever people talk about the original Mario movie, they normally talk about the live-action Mario movie. But that's not the case because this animated movie actually came out a full 7 years before that one. The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach is not just the first ever Super Mario movie, but the first ever video game movie in general too. Hell, this was so early in Mario's life that the only Super Mario game that was even out at the time was the original Super Mario Bros. For the NES. So this definitely has a lot more to live up to already, just makes it more of a shame that this movie seems to have been forgotten. But I don't know if that's just because I'm American while this movie was only released in Japan, or maybe even partly because the Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach was just buried underneath the weight of the live-action Super Mario movie, with the Illumination Mario movies not helping with that. But it doesn't matter exactly why this film is unknown, all that matters is that it is pretty unknown to general audiences. I honestly thought of this movie more as a fun fact for a bit, until I decided to actually watch this movie recently. That is part of why I wanted to make this video, just to share this movie with more people and express my own opinions on it. And honestly, I'm doing this video around the time when the Super Mario Galaxy movie comes out, just because there's no way this would get views if I released it any other time. Yeah, one of my friends tried timing a video about the Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach with another giant event in history, and let's just say, that failed! This video is going to be a tiny bit different from my usual videos, because for once, I'm actually going to be laying out the full plot of the film I talk about and adding the review alongside that. You see, normally, people will call me a ripoff of Scott the Woz, but today I'm ripping off the Nostalgia Critic. I also do want to say I wrote all of this before I actually realized the Nostalgia Critic reviewed this movie. I didn't know before I started planning this video out. God dang it. But still, let's not waste any more time. This is Super Mario Bros. Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. The movie starts with Mario playing whatever the hell this is on his Famicom when suddenly the game glitches out and we see Princess Peach running away from tons of enemies. She pops out the TV like this was the live-action Fat Albert movie and asks Mario to help her. She explains who Bowser is before getting grabbed back into the game, leaving Mario alone yet still wanting to help. So I guess this is a sort of weird thing exclusive to this movie where Princess Peach is fictional, I guess. I know in the Illumination film, Mario and Peach living in two separate worlds is a thing, but in this movie, Peach is just sort of fictional, I guess. I'll just say it right now, this might be one of the most normal things about this movie. Especially considering that Mario falls in love with Peach right there, making her Mario's waifu in this movie, I guess. Don't question that. We then get some opening credits, which are very cool in my opinion. They are in Japanese, so I can't really read them, but the art does look really pretty. This does let me talk about a certain aspect of this film though, it only being released in Japan. I believe this is probably why the film isn't as well known to more English-speaking Mario fans like in North America, because it never released here! For this video, I'm using the original Japanese version of this film, because I would rather use that than one of the various dubs on YouTube.
The kingdom has never been in so much despair. If Princess Peach isn't saved, she will be forced to marry King Koopa.
I'm honestly surprised all those dubs are still up knowing Nintendo's track record of copyright. The next day, we see Mario and Luigi working at their grocery store. Yes, I am dead serious. I know Mario has had many jobs from plumber to doctor to teaching kids how to type, but I never expect to see him and his brother working in a grocery store. But I get it, man has to make a living somehow. While working, Mario keeps looking at this necklace Peach accidentally dropped on the floor while in the real world, which causes Mario to keep pondering about Princess Peach. Luigi somehow recognizes the gem Mario was hoarding from being from the Mushroom Kingdom. He knows this because of Toad mythology, and you know what, I'm not even gonna question that. And while Luigi is blabbering about this, a dog which only exists in this film comes into Mario and Luigi's store, tries to murder Mario, then leaves with Peach's gem. Mario and Luigi start chasing after the dog because I mean, why wouldn't they? If your grocery store had more customers, maybe they'll stay there instead of worrying about this dog, but who cares? Maybe if they actually got any customers at their store, we'd actually see them more things than just this movie. It all ends with Mario, Luigi, and the dog going down a warp pipe into what feels like hell! They're greeted by Satan, I mean this wizard guy who looks like Wizard Whitebeard from Where's Waldo, who tells them the entire situation. Princess Peach is being forced to marry Bowser, Mario has to stop it, the standard Mario game plot. The actual crazy part of this plot is that Bowser is forcing Peach to marry him on Friday the 13th! You can only do that if the best man is Jason himself. The only thing that's crazier than that is a random shot of straight up terrorism in what looks like a Smurf village. But anyways, Gandalf the Great keeps telling Mario and Luigi about what they gotta do, even mentioning how they gotta obtain 3 power-ups of Super Mushroom, a Fire Flower, and a Superstar. I'm honestly slightly surprised they actually made the 3 power-ups in this movie real Mario power-ups instead of just making 3 new ones up. Good job, movie. Mario and Luigi have to go around the world to find the power-ups, which I guess explains why they must go on the quest instead of just going straight to Bowser himself. Mario, Luigi, and even a dog, which I bet you already forgot about, then screw off to start their quest. Honestly, I do respect that the movie does try to be faithful to the game's plot-wise, even if it does seem a bit difficult. Like, isn't basically what I just said the basic plot of a Mario game, just with some added connections to a little boy who drowned? Still, the movie doesn't have much of a unique plot compared to your average Mario game, but I respect them for committing to that fact. But moving on, Mario, Luigi, and the dog get themselves in another montage of them just walking. Luigi even goes to the casino at one point during it. It's awesome! The montage ends and now we're on a scene where Luigi somehow wants more food than the average American. These 2 Goombas come in, promising Luigi some food, and then drag him into their white van that says free mushrooms on the side. I wasn't even joking, by the way. Mario eventually wakes up and finds Luigi dancing while eating a ton of mushrooms. No, I'm not gonna make a joke about Luigi doing drugs. I know I'm unfunny, but I'm not that creatively bankrupt for ideas for jokes. Being fair, this would be a fair time to make that joke at least, considering how Mario figures out all the different shrooms make Luigi have different emotions. After that, Mario then gets thrown away by this Koopa bird thing, which I honestly thought was a paratrooper at first, but no, it has babies which are clearly supposed to be normal birds, so I really don't know what this is supposed to be. Mario does use some of the mushrooms he grabbed a second ago to make sure the normal birds don't eat them, and it does work. Luigi and the dog eventually get taken up to the bird's nest too, and thankfully Mario convinces the birds to not eat either of them. He does this by taking one big old bite out of Luigi. This movie is full of things I'll never believe were in official Mario media, but here we are. Luigi tries to leave the nest, but almost falls down a cliff, yet is saved by some Looney Tunes physics. The trio then tries to go up the mountain instead, which makes Mario notice the mushroom they believe they need for their mission. Mario starts climbing the mountain like it's Celeste, and after some slight trouble, he's able to get the mushroom. The mountain starts making it rain on Luigi, which hey, he doesn't seem to be upset by at least. Come on, he lost all his money at the casino earlier. He needs this. But bad news for him. Due to the weight of the coins and Mario himself, Luigi starts falling, which leads to everybody in the nest, including the birds too, falling down back into the mushrooms. All the coins start turning into toads for some reason, and you know what, after watching this, yeah, yet again, maybe the people who say Mario and mushrooms are drugs may have a point. It doesn't get more normal when the mushroom they grab turns into a giant thin toad and starts thanking Mario and Luigi. She gives them the actual mushroom they need for their journey, and then sends them on their way into another walking montage that does have some fun visuals, honestly. You know, that scene honestly did give me a ton of Wizard of Oz vibes, which definitely does not have the slight dreamlike feeling of this film. But moving on, the Goombas that messed with Luigi earlier come back and do a little bit of trolling with Mario and Luigi, and lead them to a garden because they believe they can find a fire flower there. The garden is thankfully not full of mushrooms this time, but with a bunch of flowers. And with some piranha plants too, which is honestly cool. The not-so-Andre 2 scared the 3 of them out of the garden, which leads them to annoying Lakitus. Lakitus always annoyed me in the original Super Mario Bros. Game, and I'm happy they're just as obnoxious here. It is cool that Lakitu uses his cloud for more than just riding though. That's a nice addition that's never actually used in the games. Mario and Luigi get chased by a ton of Spinies until they're cornered. Mario starts feeling something weird go up his butt, and I was told by my lawyers to stop describing the scene before I get in trouble with YouTube. But the scene ends with Mario winning the fight with the Lakitu and the Spinies by using the cloud abilities. This also causes the whole land to get a ton of flowers and for another toad to spawn. Thankfully we only won this time because I don't need a bunch of coins to turn into toads again, causing me to question my sanity for a second time. The toad gives Mario the fire flower and then sends Mario and Luigi underway. And for the $100 question, can you guess what the next scene is gonna be? Yeah, it's basically the exact same walking montage from earlier, but with some different visual gags that involve things like coins and ramen instead of some bits I would expect to see on DeviantArt. But still, the montage ends and the two Goombas try messing with Mario and Luigi again. The two Goombas start throwing coins on the ground with the hands they do not have to leave Mario and Luigi further into the game, and it somehow worked! Yeah, it's fun and easy to throw money on the ground to lead people to their death. All you need is about $50 in quarters and the nearest homeless person you see on the street. This is a personality trait they added mainly just for Luigi in this film that I don't really understand. The only time we ever see Luigi act this greedy is in this film, and I don't know if I'm just saying that because we see it the one time and never again, but it feels so weird seeing him act like this. This weird quirk of his does get more prominent throughout the movie, but I'm just mentioning it here because it's really where it seems to start. Not a bad personality to give him, I guess. I'm glad he's just not a copy of Mario in this movie personality-wise, but it does still feel weird for Luigi to act like this. But moving on, Mario and Luigi keep following the gold, even though I feel like this is something Wario would do rather than the Mario brothers themselves. And they're both rewarded for going deeper into the mine by a bunch of gold. And also a boulder blocking their path. Oh wow, no way, it was a trap? Never would have guessed! Mario tries begging the Goombas to let them go, but they say sneaking into somebody else's gold mine is an offense. And you know what? Yeah, I think they may genuinely have a good point here. Mario and Luigi just snuck up on a private property like they own the place and started trying to take all the gold there. I don't want to side with the villain, but they are making great points here. It's a downside of Luigi's character being greedy. They wouldn't have gotten in this situation if he wasn't like that. The Goombas do start rubbing in Mario's face that Bowser and Peach's wedding ceremony is going to be tonight. The Goombas laugh and walk away as the giant hammer bro keeps an eye on Mario and Luigi. Mario acts like his mom just took the Xbox away from him, because the camera turns to show that it's actually Luigi's turn to play Minecraft on the Xbox.
That's funny. I'm in the same cave looking for miners.
After that, we get to see Peach in Bowser's castle hoping Mario saves her. Oh yeah, Peach is an actual character in this movie, I bet you forgot. Bowser comes in and tries to hype Peach up for the wedding. Peach isn't having it until they start playing charades, I guess, which has Bowser start shapeshifting into a bunch of wacky things. It ends with Peach trying to trick Bowser by turning him into a teddy bear and locking him up, but that doesn't work. Bowser then leaves, but only after telling Peach that his minions captured Mario. And honestly, I do really like this scene. I think it could have been very easy to just have this scene be Bowser trying to be a very scary beast and try to taunt Princess Peach. But no, that isn't what they do at all. Bowser is more of a goofy character in this film, closer to who he is in games like Super Mario Odyssey than when Nintendo tries to take Bowser super seriously, and I honestly really love that. It makes his scenes a lot more fun, especially when I was turning into a bunch of different crazy things for Peach. And honestly, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I genuinely think this film has my favorite version of Princess Peach in any media ever. Yes, I mean ever, official or otherwise. I love how Peach feels like an actual character in this film with way more depth and personality than just a girl who gets kidnapped. She seems really nice in this film whenever she's on screen. But still, the scene technically wasn't necessary for this film to work, but I still do think it's great, and I absolutely do love Bowser and Peach's characterization in this film. Okay, so does me saying all of that technically make this a good review and fair use by extension? Yeah, I hope so. But moving on, we get another miniature montage, because of course we do. This montage has Mario have a fantasy about marrying Peach with a cheesy love song over it. This segment really surprised me the first time I watched this movie. I don't know what about it was, probably just the song over this montage seemed very out of place for a piece of Mario media, but it did catch me off guard. Luigi and the dog I still don't care to learn the actual name of take forever to wake up Mario in order for all of them to escape the mine prison. Yeah, putting Mario and a prison escape together is like putting dogs together with a pair of tongs. There's no connection. The Hammer Bro guard tries stopping them, but fails because Mario has the ultimate ability of plot armor. Mario and the dog end up underwater to try to get the star Luigi dropped. And honestly, I know underwater levels in video games are normally annoying, but I do still think this part of the movie is pretty nice, all things considered. There's even a part where Mario becomes a ballerina. You don't see that every day. But Mario does eventually get the star off the clam underwater, and then after him and his dog get chased by a big sheep, they become captains of a ship. Mario, you better watch it! Your ship has a Pokemon on it! But regardless, Mario gets Gay Luigi and in their now flying pirate ship which they continue to blow. Take that phrasing as you will. They make their way to Bowser's castle in another montage segment. As pretty as these montages are, the animation in this movie does look really good. It is getting harder to say something new about these montages. Come on, I can only come up with so many jokes about them, and doing the same thing about 4 or 5 times in one 60-minute movie does not help. It genuinely does slightly bother me how common these montages are in this movie, not even because it's hard for me to write new jokes, it's just really annoying how common they are. But I do understand it because I guess you can't make every single walking or traveling scene that interesting. But still, we get to see Bowser's castle to see the wedding. It does look more like a satanic sacrifice, but no, apparently this is a wedding. 2 Koopas make Princess Peach look like this, which understandably makes her so upset that he smashes one of them through a mirror. Peach here means business. Peach does lose a bit of hope, but she shouldn't worry. Mario and Luigi are rowing their ship slowly towards the castle. It does take them a minute to get there, but hey, Peach sure is happy to see that they did get there eventually, so that makes up for it. And I could definitely see why Peach would notice. They sure ain't hiding their present with how much wood they're losing over here. Bowser starts running away into the castle with Peach, and Mario and Luigi start using secret tunnels to start trying to find her. During this chase scene, we do see some slight platforming that's similar to the original Super Mario game, and honestly it is very charming to see. Even for some bits that aren't directly taken from the game, it still does slightly resemble them with at least a fire that does remind me of the lava bubbles. I do like this part of the movie. It's as good as you could probably get translating the gameplay of Mario directly into a movie. So basically I approve of this part of the movie because it reminds me of something I recognize. Yay! We cut to Luigi and he sure is using the one personality trait he earned in this movie to great use. We do finally get a payoff of what has his personality, which is him accidentally causing a flood, putting out all the fire and lava, but also destroying the room too. Oh wait, no, not just the room, but the entire castle as well, stopping Bowser's wedding. Oh, way to go, Luigi. But Bowser gets back up somehow, and this starts the fight between Mario with his dog and Bowser. Mario tries using all 3 of his power-ups at once, but drops the star like the moron he is. You cannot convince me that this part of the movie didn't at least partly inspire the new Super Mario Bros. Games letting you enter levels with certain power-ups. Luigi thankfully comes in at the last second to give Mario the star, making Mario get the strength to go Super Saiyan on Bowser. He had to do that to remind you that this is an anime. Mario throws Bowser off the castle like it was Super Mario 64, and the day is saved!
So long, Bowser!
The Mushroom Kingdom goes back to normal now, and Mario and Peach can finally have some alone time. Besides Luigi and the dog, but who cares about them? Mario gives Peach a necklace lost, and Peach gives Mario one free pass into their friend zone by making her dog into a prince! I'm not even gonna make a joke about bestiality here because I'm more mad about my boy Mario getting rejected by Peach immediately after saving her! Peach still actually thanks Mario and Luigi for the help, but man, I'm still very bad about this prince guy. Screw the prince. Me and the homies hate this prince. For real, while I am super mad about how Mario got treated at the end, I'm happy it did end well for all of them. Peach is safe, Luigi is rich, Mario is still alive. Somehow. And we do get an actual pretty charming after credits scene that does confirm Bowser and his minions actually became upstanding citizens who now have a job. I'm so proud of them. They did something I can't even do. And that was the great mission to rescue Princess Peach, and yet again, I am super sad this movie seems to have fallen through the cracks of time. This movie isn't the deepest or most amazing film that ever exists, but I'll say that if you could get past the language barrier, it's a pretty alright film that I would recommend. The plot is practically what you would expect out of a Mario film, especially considering how little games they had to work with when they were making this back in 1986. This film doesn't have a groundbreaking plot, besides maybe 1 or 2 weird details like Mario and Luigi working at a grocery store, which I am still not over. But for a film that's just a little over 60 minutes, the plot does what it needs to. Oh wow, this movie based on Mario doesn't have a deeper plot than films like Donnie Darko? What a shocker! I'm a little sad with how much of the runtime is just montages and Mario fighting random enemies, but I do understand why that is. And I'm at least happy all the enemies in this movie are actual Mario enemies instead of just random made up ones. That's pretty cool. I also think the characterization in this film is pretty okay. You could tell what they're thinking and feeling even without directly understanding them like I do. And yet again, I think this may genuinely be my favorite version of Princess Peach in literally anything, even including the Illumination Mario movie. I may not like how Luigi is characterized in this film, with his main personality trait really just him liking gold and being able to dig holes. But I am at least thankful he does have some sort of personality instead of just being Mario copy and pasted. So yeah, I'm gonna say that this movie is pretty alright character-wise. And also, the animation in this movie is great. The animation in this movie isn't as beautiful as something like Studio Ghibli, obviously. That's way too high of a bar for any movie. But the Mario movie still does look really nice and fun. Still, I enjoy this movie and I wish more people were aware of it. I do hope I convince you to check it out yourself, and that if you do, you enjoy it too. I personally watch it myself on YouTube, but don't tell Nintendo that because yet again, I don't want Nintendo to start giving random people cease and desist letters over something Nintendo doesn't really care to acknowledge ever again. But still, I do think The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach is a pretty good film that's severely underrated. If you haven't watched it yet and you're still interested, I would definitely suggest checking out the film, especially with the new Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out in a short bit. It will truly show how far we came from an underrated film to whatever this was to hopefully an amazing film considering it's named after an amazing game. But still, I obviously can't share my thoughts on the Galaxy film until it comes out, which it obviously hasn't done yet, so I'll share my thoughts on the Galaxy movie on a later date. We're just gonna have to wait and see if I'm desperate to talk about it before my inevitable 2026 movies video. And also, before I go, I would like to say, if you guys would want me to talk about more movies in individual videos, I would love to. I would love to talk about more, but only if there's interest for that. It wouldn't make sense to talk about movies I'm in any way interested in to spread awareness of them if nobody would be interested in watching those videos. If you guys would like more videos like this, please leave it in the comment section below. I would love to hear your feedback. But still, I'm off to go buy tickets to the Super Mario Galaxy movie before they're sold out in my area. I wouldn't miss Donald Glover as Yoshi for the world. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now. You got it!